afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, here of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to a 1 versus 1 on Holotny Farm here between Ahegau, Pony, and I will just refer to him as Pony here, fighting for Germany, for the Reich, for the Kampfgruppe Dietrich, going up here versus RedxWings, fighting for the Soviet Union, for Comrade Stalin. And the 10th Guards Tank Corps rolling swiftly ahead. The Kampfgruppe assembled to break this Soviet spearhead in the name of the Reich. We're seeing the meeting move southwards here, by the way, from Pony. A bit of an unusual opening, actually, for Holotny Farmer. Usually they sort of be trying to make their way north, but he's actually sort of focusing on the south initially. That is definitely out of the ordinary right there. RedxWings going for his, at this point, usual double combat engineer start. The Strafnik in there, that's rather, at this point, how should one say, emblematic, symbolic, iconic of him. There we go, iconic. There we go, I knew it was something like that, but briefly my mind was not working in my favour. Wiring off there to try and already hit sort of die cover to the fascists. Securing the munitions again. It's a very, very unusual opening here from Pony. Very unusual. Not the sort of thing we're used to seeing. At least I'm not. Ports are being secured. Munitions here being secured as well.
We have taken it. This is what we're trained for.
Slowly approaching the south. Truck here breaking fences left and right. And there goes Sturm Punch, making the force companies are coming up fire there, and there got the Strafnik moving in with this with T40 semi-automatic rifles here. Closing in here on the Sturmpioniere. And there go flanking up, they're getting off some good shots there. For some reason they do not continue to engage them, allowing the Sturm Punch to get away somewhat unharmed, but on the other hand there's no cover for them right here, so taking cover behind a dead horse. They open up there on the fascist infantry. The Soviet army was sort of meant actually to have been equipped with this SVT-40s on a larger basis, but the problem was they never had enough of them, so they had to rely on the Moser and Nagant still. But little fun fact there. Second Strafnik unit, and we got a scout car flying up then on the infantry there, laying down here around the point. But at the same time, it's very interesting to note it's only now here that Pony begins securing the fuel point as well. So in that regard, the fuel difference between the two is not going to be that large. And there you go, second Strafnik unit arrives. Here with the Volksgrenadier right here. Pony's troops might be in for a bit of a nice surprise, and there you go, run off. Sturmpioniere heading north. One Strafnik unit could be sent in to sort of deal with them, or RedxWings here might sort of just decide to hang around and deal with other matters. But there you go, the M3A1 arriving. Companies there versus Volksgrenadier, Sturmpioniere here, going the other common unit in there. Need to stop up and begin opening up them from a distance, but no, already too late with our negative cover. In fact, allowing the Sturm Punch to get off a few more good shots. There you go, scout car arriving, 50 caliber, raking away with the righteous socialist bullets made by Americans, but we don't tell the soldiers that. And there we go, we got a battle group headquarters up here, pretty awfully standard stuff there from the Oberkommando West. And a pretty standard position as well here for Holotny Farmer. Folks with a bit of trouble rushing into the building. Scout Corps won't be able to sort of root them out. Of course, can try to deal with other infantry, move back for some repairs and further infantry to add in. For example, he could consider active upgrading a Strafnik unit with a flamethrower, stuffing them in, and then say charging and clearing this out. Further Strafnik down the way for RedxWings. We got 4 Volksgrenadiers here for Pony. That's an awful lot of infantry in that direction. One Pony, no Kugelwagens. Kein Raketen there for either. No say attempt to just getting maybe a quick lightest Infanteriegeschütz either. The LAG-18 being a, well, rather old weapon as well. Meant to provide infantry support for the battalions, or artillery support for the infantry battalions. There would later be other variants based on anti-tank guns to sort of replace this one. But overall a robust piece of weaponry that sort of uses throughout the entire war, although as the war progressed it saw increasingly itself replaced with the 12cm mortar that the Germans nicked from the Soviets, and did the job quite as well, and was also, I believe, easier to make, which also gave that a bit of an advantage. And there you go, Scout Kite in a terrible position. The Indian is destroyed. Yep. Dead. Meanwhile, the Stravniki continue to hold up here. Volksguns are being pushed away. Meanwhile, got a large engagement going up here. Might want to charge position while leaving the comets here to hold the point. There you go, more fire there, burning away the fascists. There you go, got an assault here going from Pony towards the center position. Meanwhile, the north is slowly being lost here to the Russians. 4 Stravniki units here for RedxWings here versus Pony. No doctrinal shots. Oh yeah, doctrines rather than Lend-Lease, shock rifle and guard motor. For Pony, it's fortification, special operations and scavenge. Less than the usual stuff there. At least a little bit. And of course we'll have to see what Pony goes for. There are a lot of Propagandacast players tend to sort of go for fortification. There's been actually an increase though in scavenge doctrine being used as of late, so that could actually happen. Special operations, while having a brief surge, has sort of basically fallen back into obscurity, though it's nowhere near as obscure as, say, Elite Armored is still. Another cut-off here. Pony desperately trying to deny and harass fuel points here to RedxWings, who on the other hand is doing the same thing, albeit with a bit more flair and a bit more success. Another mining gate near the Volksguns is not really faring off here, both the Stravniki at all. But the SVT was basically part of the Soviet infantry doctrine, was supposed to be part of, which placed emphasis on the rifle. Just in fact, like American infantry doctrine actually did, little fun fact there, which also meant the Soviet light machine guns never really were that well developed and were somewhat older in comparison. Just like the Americans. Fun facts there. Fun facts there. Got a truck here rolling about a bit. Could be sending up here for a Panther quarters to block off some territory here to RedxWings, making it a bit hard for him to sort of raid as easily as he might like to do. Coming up north in a bit of trouble. Partner being secured. Stravniki reinforcing, and we got a slight build up here again. Lots of manpower there being floated by Pony, who might trying to be aimed there at an orbital dive unit as rapidly as possible, then that way trying to turn the tide more seriously versus RedxWings, and that can certainly be one of the ways to sort of more probably do. Plus the position right here actually allows for pretty efficient coverage of both the munitions to cut off, but also bit the fuel point if RedxWings gets a bit too clever for his own good. So we're not a bad position, plus it's going to be a bit tricky to sort of just creep up with an anti-tank gun and just blast away with as well. So overall, not a bad position right there for Pony. Got the checking up here, we got the mechanized armor compagnie here for RedxWings, likely of an AC-76M on the way soon after that. And soon the Schwerpanzer quarters will be inaugurated here with a quick volley versus some communists from its 37mm flak 41. Or not. And, oh, they're just beyond the range. Oh, no, they're not. There you go, 37mm gun firing away. High glows going on. There we go, firing the flamethrower through the hedgerows, somehow not igniting the entire thing as well in the process. Don't worry, Yuri. Butchers are not flammable. Or at least I don't think so. But we got orbital down there on the way. Soon to make things a bit more miserable here for RedxWings. Infantry keeps on pressuring versus the Volksgrenadiers. Moving up there. Bit out in the open though. Bit out in the open. A bit risky here for the Stravniki, even versus Volksgrenadiers. Losses are inflicted. Fascists are burned. Though a few Stravniki are forgiven of their sins versus the Soviet state as their lives expire. Further fighting here for more Volksguns moving in, but still desperately needing something with a bit more punch. And there we go. Orbital line arriving. Sturmpanies were actually slaughtered and are now to be replaced by other Pioniere. We also hear that Pony's actually spreading out into somewhat a bit thin, which is only making things easier here for RedxWings versus him. In particular with the Volksgrenadiers, who definitely cannot hold a fight on their own without a light machine gun. Which of course they can't have. And there we go. Then on the other hand, the Obersoldaten arrived there with the lightest machining opening up there on the Strafniki, quickly cutting down several of them in the process. And there we go. 2 kills for Deutschland. And at the same time, the S-6M arrives here. For the Russians, mine going down here, but straight in front of the Germans, unless Pony here has a terrible memory, it's likely going to be dealt with. It's likely going to be dealt with. Then again, Pony could have a terrible memory, and by Jove, he's got an absolutely terrible memory. Or he wasn't paying attention in class. Either way, he's just lost 2 Obersoldaten to that mine. That's definitely not good. And at the same time, you got the S-6M here arriving. Soviet assault gun. Much produced and much in support of many different units. It was very much a sort of infantry support vehicle or platform. Not very well liked by its crews though, who didn't name it Suchka or Little Bitch. And there you go, quickly moving forward here with a barrage, point blank, and there we go. The entire Obersoldaten unit there wiped out. A harsh blow there to Pony already with this first Obersoldaten unit wiped out. There's another one though arriving just as the other one gets blown to Kingdom Come, but that's definitely already there. A heavy loss, barely did any damage, and that was 400 mat power out the window. And a good start there for the Su-76. In that regard, wiping out that Obersoldaten unit has probably already well made it worth its cost. It's a little fun fact there. The Obersoldaten there advancing quickly on the Strafniki comments moving up as well. Got the S-6 moving up here, ready to fire for a few good shots there from its gun, though not really effective unless it's barraging. Oh, trying to crash them! S-6 driver there on the rampage. Meanwhile, Pony's infantry up north being helped at bay here by 2 Strafniki units. Doing a decent job there. And we're seeing guards boat here from RedxWings. A heavy mortar is actually being called in. A heavy mortar. Which was very popular. In fact, the Axis downright copied it. I'm not just talking about the Germans. I'm talking the Romanians, Hungarians. And I believe the Finns too, actually. They basically copied the design and made them themselves. So, very fun fact there. In fact, amongst the Germans and the Russians, there were several sort of designs and charts that were copied. Also, tactics and strategies. Though, of course, usually adapted in some manner to sort of fit them. But there was a lot of sort of exchanges, if you will, on the Eastern Front. The 120mm, though, being sort of one of the more direct, blatant examples of it. But a very potent artillery piece. Opening up here on the Schwerpanzer quarters, hoping to sort of put a stop to that as small Obersoldaten rush onto the field. The Kampfgruppen here apparently mostly composed of a motorized Panzer Grenadier battalion with its, well, motorized Panzer Grenadiers arriving here. The trucks far away from the front, although as the war progressed, increasingly larger numbers of Panzer Grenadiers were actually mounted on bicycles. Very fun fact there, in fact, in Normandy, the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier Division actually had 3 battalions mounted on bicycles, the SS. So, a very little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. So, who knows how those Obersoldaten arrived on the battlefield, eh? I continued fighting here. They got a bit caught up between 2 units attacking. Strafniki in a good job next year, pulling back, allowing themselves to be shot at, taking more damage that way. But there we go, setting up a good position. Fighting right over the lightest machining gewehr 34. They're quickly dropping Yuri, Boris, and maybe even Ivan. There we go. Already Veterans 1. He should consider Boobage having some points there, Mr. Pony. Or I suppose Miss Pony. I don't know. Another move here. And another mine wiping out the Volkswagen unit. And he even takes 1 Obersoldaten with it, leaving the other heavily wounded again. That's really, again, a good lesson. If one mine goes off in the same spot, mine again, because likely it'll happen again. In fact, we note here RedxWings, as always, is pretty solid when it comes to mining off stuff. We got a 786 here. Once while his small assault gun battery forms up. Infantry assault going in here. And there you go, another vicious barrage from an Su-76. Though this time, less successful in hitting, wrecking some wrecks, but that's it really. Hey, Mortar continues to trample part away here, and we're noting here that Pony's actually setting up, noting no looks though. Most Orbital Commander West players tend to go for looks pretty rapidly, but he's just relying on the Orbital Garden, which by the way is not a bad choice, considering this he's likely aiming for a Panther set, which overall means he'll get it faster, and overall I would also personally say that's probably the wiser choice half the time, unless your opponent is really unprepared. Lukes generally tends to not do so much before it's wrecked, though occasionally it can completely overwhelm your opponent and wreck him beyond all salvation. But obviously in this case, RedxWings already had Edge out, so Lukes would have limited effect. Oh, there he goes, rushing in! He's crushing the Orbital Soldaten! He just crushed them! Light machine gun dropped, Volkswagen were able to salvage it, but that was just terrible! Heavy losses amongst the Orbital Soldaten, heavy losses there! Infantry point forward there, Volkswagen's being pushed away. Hey, Mortar continues to bombard away. There are more Orbital Soldaten to basically replace the losses. And more mines going down there. I mean, obviously, having no issues there. I mean, he does actually have mine speed, but so far he's not really having much luck doing anything with those steel pioneers before they get slaughtered. We just got fresh barrages here from RedxWings and his assault guns, one already veterans who won. And he just keeps getting more Orbital done until he can get in a Panther. He probably knows that the Raketenwerfer here is not going to do much, and there's not really much else he's going to bother with. So in that regard, I mean, I can understand it's a bit, you know, cheesy, but overall, I mean, other options are basically big with this, but that's going to be limited as well. This is not really going to have any iron infantry, just upgrades for it. I suppose he could actually try and scavenge, get some Jaegers out. That would probably actually be his best choice. Plus infiltration tactics for his Volkswagen might also help, but that would actually allow him to say, pop up some infantry here and here, pressure RedxWings from some other positions. So right now, I mean, he probably should consider going for scavenge rather than the other two. I mean, he could go for fortifications. The problem is that Pack 43 could get bombarded by the S-26s with a heavy mortar, and he could then just bring in a Katyusha to sort of further blast it into tiny bits. So, and of course, the chance of a Strafnikis, well, infiltrates and gets off a satchel charge again is going to be wasted. So, it's going to be a limited effect here. And overall, this would almost benefit him the most. So, but there you go. Finally, a sort of unit wiped out there for RedxWings, but he's now moving his forces ahead in a rather large clump. Pony here clearly tempting the fates, in particular when there's two assault guns here ready to barrage. Then again, pushing the Volkswagen straight ahead against it. There you go, barrages off. I think he's trying to get the Orbital Soldaten. Not quite hitting there. Pony wants, for once, successfully pushing off, then assault versus RedxWings, forcing him back into his base. A harrowing development right here for the Russians, though more Strafniki arrive. One Orbital Onion here, veteran to 217 kills so far to the name. And the Orbital Soldaten, by the way, do represent sort of more actual Panzer Gunner sort of equipment and organization. That is, you know, I mean, if you imagine these sections as a full squad, then that would be sort of it, you know, 8 men, 2 light machine guns, rifles, and so on. So, little fun factor there. The assault rifle ones we know from the Ostheer or Wehrmacht, while they were also technically there, were much later development in the war and less universal. Mostly put in part of, say, Panzer brigades. Though Panzer divisions, as the war progresses and so on, and Panzer divisions would have had them as well. But there you go, Panzerkampfwagen finally mobilizing here for the Kampfgruppe. And looks like he actually managed to make off here with a heavy mortar from RedxWings. That might give him a bit of artillery support. That might do something if you can sort of properly utilize it. RedxWings here, blobbing up his Strafnik. Oh, fun grenade! Gets Yuri. Maybe Boris as well. Still no doctrine though. I really should consider that. Again, I really feel like Scavenge is currently sort of the best one. Always thorough salvage, Jaegers, infiltration tactics, even a flak punch up, deal with the infantry, but also some nice howitzer barrages. S-6 is rushing forwards again. We got the Haymortar there firing. By the way, this little carriage there was usually taken away before firing the Haymortar, and I suppose they did it for expediency and so on. Trying to knock it out of the building, in this case shields it nicely. Orbs on here getting burnt, scorched and toasted. And there you go, Panther moving forwards. Achtung, wo ist ein Panzer? And there you go, the S-6 is in a bit of trouble there, so Panther rolls forwards. One S-6 knocked out, mine goes off though, damaging the engine. S-6 in a bit of trouble. At the same time, mine against this, Strafniki versus Volkswagen, the Panther pulling back. Clearly worried that there might be else there, might be more mines, who knows. Either way, the S-6 is actually allowed to escape here. The Panther pulls back for some repairs.
Upgrade completed. Fires back to full strength.
So a small bit of relief there for RedxWings. The Panther is out of the bag. And for the time being, that kitty cat is not going anywhere. Now, of course, RedxWings on the other hand has to have to deal here with the German heavy mortar, already with 1 kill to its name. And Panther striking southwards. Ready to deal here with the Strafniki. Alden moves forward here with a purloined Panzerschreck. Another mine there going off. RedxWings mining proving to be quite nice. By the way, no analysis, rather long game, so my apologies there. Either way, another mine there, once more damaged engine. It could go for an H-35, then again, he is looking to probably aiming here for T-35 by now, though in which case he might consider a fuel cache, so further support that. But there you go, more barrages, but this time Panther coming up here. Veterans to 3 Volks Grenadiere. Panther rolling forwards, but close to hitting up another minefield, actually. Almost got the F-6 there, but it's almost eventually too as well. More mines going off, looks like someone got blown to bits. And the orbs are on here, closing in there. Might want to pop down a smoke screen at the very least if they intend to try and hold the point, but by now it's actually too late. They're already so low on health and numbers. And then another more man who hits a mine! My God! He really needs to get those minesweepers forward. And another one takes out the unit! RedxWings, that mining fiend. And just more orbital done. I don't think I've actually ever seen so many orbital done in a 1 versus 1. That is a continuous stream of them, but never sort of really entaining any sort of large critical mass because they keep getting killed. And at this point, I'm pretty sure at least the platoon is going to get depleted, if not more. Maybe an entire company's worth of elite or veteran panzer gunners might see themselves dead. Grenades going off left and right here. And there you go, more orbital done. Still no doctrine. I mean, right now he could actually try and just go for scams and then quickly call in a flak Panther 4 to help deal with the infantry. That might actually work nicely for him. Oh dear, they have the Volkswagens there are with the light machine gun. And they are veterans who fire. That is definitely bad news, by the way, here for RedxWings. Those are definitely they're veterans who fire Volkswagens with a light machine gun from the Oberstaden. Panzerschreck drop there. Can they make it? No, they actually rather than help. There we go. Wise decision. Pulls back. Not something you want to lose. Partly because of veterans, because the veterans combined with that light machine gun is absolutely ferocious. A nightmare for the Russians. RedxWings now, they're struggling a bit more here now that Pony's sort of getting geared up. Finally. But still, I mean, we're 24 minutes into the match. Still no doctrine. That's usually something I describe as problematic and not really a good sign. And generally, I would always recommend, in fact, I would say as a rule of thumb, always have a doctrine chosen by at least latest the 20-minute mark. Otherwise, I mean, you're probably losing out more than you're gaining on sort of being, you know, holding back. S-6 won't get into trouble. And there you go, Panther stops up at this point. I'm pretty sure he's actually paranoid about mines, so he's not going in there without some minesweepers. And another mine! He just keeps hitting them. There's mines everywhere. Scheiße, so where's some minesweepers? I don't know. They're everywhere, but at the mines. It's a bit scheiße. Because, and it's really what's happening, I mean, all the mines are concentrated here. Where are the minesweepers? Everywhere but there. They're up north all the time. Now for some reason the Oberstdorf are hiding there. And there you go, Scavenge finally chosen. 25 minutes in the match, Scavenge chosen, the Flak Panther rank goal almost at the same time. We're now going to see the T-35s here hitting the field. Flak Panther, they're mobilizing there. We also got an artillery barrage here prepared. Interesting enough, there's still no attempt, for example, booby trapping some of the points. I think that could give Pony a bit more leeway and a bit more chance of killing some Russians. Again, right here, Pony sort of sending his Panther ahead without any support whatsoever. Rather risky. We do have the mortar here sneak a bit further forward, so sadly not getting a lot of kills. Sadly not getting a lot of kills. T-35 advancing, Panther commander fire. Oh! Pony right here making a rather large tactical mistake. They're exposing the rear to the S-6. Trying to get away, but too late, too late. There we go. S-6 or either T-35, they got the kill, combined them with marked vehicle. Very poor tactical decision there by Pony. Rushing in a Panther, unsupported, uncovered. And of course, as soon as things happen, he should have just, no matter what, tried to make it out. They didn't quite work out. Which results in him now being short one Panther versus 2 T-35s. All he's got now is 3 Panther strikes to basically deal with the T-35s. And the Flak Panthers will certainly delay any further sort of misses to sort of deal with them for the time being. So in that regard, Pony is in a bit of a sore spot. And of course we've got the 76 there constantly bombarding there, closing very swiftly in on Veteran T3, which just means it's going to, well, fire faster and actually be able to barrage even further away.
The enemy is reduced to 300 points.
So not looking good here for Pony. I mean, he's still holding on, he's actually draining away victory points, he's still got a sort of decent force, but he's very much lacking in something that seriously threaten RedxWings and his tanks. And that's really sort of the main issue here. In part though, it's because again he's been taking those mines extremely lightly for most of the match. To a certain extent, I mean, he's not really bothering much with it, but at the same time it caused him to freeze up with his tanks. Or well, tank. Tanks being plural, so far he's only had one. Stuff Nigga, the Panther flamethrower. Force here pulling back, so they have to deal with it. By the way, negative cover here versus units with light machine guns, in particular the Falcons also have it. That's really bad. There we go, in fact. But there we go. Vicious barrage tearing apart numerous infantrymen, almost wiping out them, but still leaving many rather bled dry. That S-6 is definitely showing itself as a hero of the Soviet Union. Look at me, Dmitri. I am hero. I am blasting many fascists to find paste. Well then I'm hero too, because I'm the one loading the bloody gun. Flak Panther are getting a lot more conservative now there's no tank to save its arse. And now he's actually getting a Kettenwerfer. Pony's clearly feeling the heat here. He could try and set him up for another Panther, that's probably a safe bet. Or the safer bet. I mean, of course, with 2 T-35s running up, there's not really much. Oh, another mine! Another mine! Mines truly wins fights here. Quite clear with this engagement. Quite clear with his engagement. Haymort's actually managed to score some more kills, but now things are beginning to look really, really grim. There we go, nice hit from the Haymort here, 5 kills, stretching to 1. Opening up for precision strike here versus the Russians. But the Kampfgruppe is struggling, whatever vehicles being passed its way are quickly lost. And High Command's faith in its the Kampfgruppe's commander might soon be growing thin. There you go, T-35 striking down there, moving southwards. Not pushing forwards up here, might be a bit nervous about something. Let him got a Kedmer for there ready as well. But sadly, all of the action is now going to be heading south as the T-35s shift down there. The S-06, of course, easily able to provide support as well in case something goes awry. Let's with the 3 Obersoldaten. Actually killed less than the Volksgrenadiers with a light machine gun. Sturmpioneers getting blasted. He's finally moving down there, but now there's no real mines left, well, except one. The rest basically have been blown up by, well, his own men. Less by intention, more by accident. But he's now sort of trying to sort of ensure he doesn't get sort of cut, easily swept up there. Focusing things north. Having some mine units down south, but overall most of it's north. The Volksgrenadiers working together, ready to sort of meet the tanks with a volley of Panther tracks. Oh, lost the heavy mortar there. 21 kills for the assault gun. Another minefield there spotted in the making. The company is all cut down in cold blood. Oh, Katyusha arrived here. Rocket artillery top deal with all its infantry. Not a bad idea, I mean, considering all the infantry that pony has. And Katyusha is definitely a good option for trying to deal with it. In particular, get its veterans into one well-placed, concentrated barrage can really sort of wipe out any unit if your opponent is even briefly unawares of it or paying not attention or not expecting it. Since, of course, a regular barrage is much more unfocused, but the concentrated barrage can, in pretty much one barrage, clear out any weapon or wipe out any infantry squad. Now the northern assault here, trying to get away the Russians from the northern territories. Now he's actually salvaging the heavy mortar, he doesn't even bother with it anymore. Oh, losing the right before they finish with it, the entire unit gets killed. What terrible luck. At the same time, T-35 is striking versus the infantry. The Kedma of the range to support Pantrex as well, but this is just... oh, not good. Getting closer there to the Panther, getting closer. The Kedma are safe within the arc here of protection from the Schwerer Panther quarters. And it's almighty. Flak 41, though, of course, nothing near that 88mm flak. Sadly not in the game. At least not as of speaking. And there you go again, trying to salvage that heavy mortar. More righteous machine gun fire, and there we go. Another righteous battleship from the F-66. Shots through the air, and... there we go, finally got... he's also got tons of munitions. 381. He definitely should consider maybe utilising a barrage in the right place to squash a few communists from above. Jaeger light infantry is also available. Oh, he's going up for Mechanised Regiment headquarters. He could be playing for something bigger. He could be trying for a King Tiger in the hopes that a Schwerer Panzer will break his way through to his dreams of victory. Could work. Could work, though it's going to be rather risky since he'll still be about 120 fuel off from that. And even with this trading for munitions, he's still going to be, well, at shortest maybe 6 minutes. They need to begin training fuel for... oh! Satchel charge right in! Oh! Ah! Why did you do that? Scheiße. Clearly, Pony was not expecting that, despite, you know, having sort of fun his men up together in the perfect satchel position. And now a barrage sort of falls up, causing even more horrific casualties. RedxWings is just tearing him apart. Absolutely brutal stuff right there. Splattered corpse alley. That's for sure. Getting more Volksgrenadiers now, characters begin to sort of pile up. He seems to not training. Oh, there we go. He actually is. He's just not paying much off because he's lost some resources elsewhere. Oh well. He's still got tons of munitions though. A good barrage in the right place probably could do a lot for him. There you go. Slavniki in some heavy trouble. So is like heading there for. And it would seem like he lost the false gunners he really could not afford to lose. The ones with the light machine gun, all the veterans and all the kills. And then he's got another overrun here, close to victory 5, actually 36 kills, so they might still be able to hook things up. T-52 continuing, Rakener running up, Panther needs to be launched at as well. And there you go, CoH2 going down here in the infantry concentration, Oberstadt torn apart. The air forced out of their lungs. Another Volkswagen squad there down. That was the fresh one in fact, so no veterans he lost there, though still not exactly good. More forced in as replacements. There's going to be some time before we can consider getting a King Tiger, which clearly is he's aiming for right now. Otherwise there'd be no logical reason for him to do it since he's getting nothing from it. So he's clearly hoping for the King Tiger again. It's going to delay everything. And it's also going to mean RedxWings has a larger chance of getting out something big as well, say getting more T-35s, in which case, well, that King Tiger might have a struggle versus 4 rather than an A-76 and Mark vehicle on it. And that's really the problem with such kind of gambits here. In particular, well, that's the Oberkommando West in particular. I mean, you're basically going to be delaying yourself so much, putting resources aside for so long that your opponent can also do it. I mean, that's the dangerous thing about these. I mean, had he had the Panther while doing so, it might have been more feasible, but he's doing it because he lost the Panther, in which case he's rather betting a lot on it working. And he's rather betting on RedxWings, of course, somehow not assembling the resources to, well, drown it in tanks. Got a bit more bounty, trying to knock out that Panther quarters, an absolute thorn on the side of RedxWings, and he's in tank core there. Numerous men going down to that one thing. It keeps pushing up those damnable Obersoldaten. There it goes, suppressing a few Russians with some dreadful light machine gun fire. More mines. I mean, RedxWings just does not let up with those mines. He is absolutely fanatical when it comes to mines. There you go, T-2 first striking purpose of the Schwerpanzer quarters. Looks like he's about to finally try and knock it up, but he's exposing the V here to the flak, allowing it to actually get off some hits there, and this rear armor of those tanks are actually quite weak. So a little fun fact there. In particular, there's one thing is to keep in mind with the T-34s. You see, that's the 85. The main armor of the hull was actually never really thickened, so it was actually rather weak throughout the war. It was only the turret which really saw any sort of increase in armor, and that was only because the turret itself got bigger as well. So fun fact there, fun fact. Pony, they're getting close to that King Tiger. About 1.5 minutes. That Nation 6 is still fighting here for the glory of Comrade Stalin. It's quite surprising that you never really sort of get inkling of blows. I mean, he did try to finish off the Schwerpanzer quarters as an example. I mean, one would have figured that RedxWings would have been able to finish off Pony much sooner, but again, considering that Pony doesn't really much wear about in terms of manpower for longer periods of time, I mean, he can just keep pushing out infantry as he loses it. Which does lead to sort of some odd feelings there with the Germans when they keep spamming up more infantry than the Russians. Admittedly. And... oh, damn close there. Not long to go. Not long to go before you can call in that King Tiger. Someone's in for a world of pain there. There we go. Half the orbital line unit gone. Dodges it. Need to retreat. There we go. SU6 trying to crush. RedxWings going in for the kill. There we go. Down to one man. Run, Heinz. Run. You can do it. Germany believes in you. Quick grenade assault into the advancing path. Not a bad idea, actually. Oh, there we go. Really taking apart those Russians. And there we go. Königsieger on the way. 40 minutes into the game. Can this turn the tide? Can this win the battle? Can this save Germany? CoH2 continues to bombard away. Getting a few kills, but overall having a bit of less luck because he's usually bombarding from so far away that the spread on the rockets is usually quite great. Well, there you go. Quick shot there between the fences and the building here. Catching some Strafniki with that 30mm gun. Bit dangerous right there. From all rushing past the 30mm of their gun there. Point blank. Oh dear. King Tiger soon ready. I came up getting flanked. Rockets going off. Almost got one T-35 there. Almost. He just lacks a population capture to get it. Another swift battleship. And there we go. King Tiger finally arrives. Königsieger. Ready to fight for Germany.
King Tiger ready.
But he needs to be swift about it. And there you go, Veteran T5 Obersoldaten. Two heroes of Germany. Later Kreuzträger 1 and all. Panther machine gun on the King Tiger as well. Slogging through the terrain, cratered by the intense Soviet bombardments. Be sure to keep a minesweeper with it. Minesweeper! There we go, King Tiger opening up with its 88mm high velocity gun, same as on the Panther Elephant. And to Nassau. And there you go, Mark Bill going up. No, 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 why are you turning like that? Pony, go after the T-35. You actually got the armor to withstand it at range. He actually pulls back there. He pulls back. He does not pursue. He does not try to knock him out. At least get up some minesweepers to check for mines before moving ahead. He's definitely missing, I think, out of an opportunity to sort of really punish RedxWings. Now he's actually got a King Tiger out. And he's only got two T-35 to sort of really deal with it. So, I mean, if he keeps it properly supported, he can probably do away with a lot of the tanks right now. But he needs to get that thing moving. But that was a very powerful gun. Could pretty much knock out any enemy tank in the war. Also, I'm doing what I can to hold back the compagneers. He needs to get moving forwards. Come on, Pony. Vorwärts für Deutschland! Almost 50 kills there for the Obersoldaten. Come on. Vorwärts. Come on. I mean, you don't get a King Tiger and then just sit around with it. Come on, Pony. Oh, now Pony's actually laying down his own mines. That certainly took him long enough, and now he actually is pulling back the King Tiger instead of trying to deliver a blow to his opponent. I mean, once you get a King Tiger, you get offensive with it. You try to force an engagement with it, you don't sit back and do nothing. Come on, Pony. Support it, attack with it. So we got a large force moving in there from RedxWings. Well, the H6 it looks like might finally be getting that. Yeah, we go. Spare parts at quarters down. Always on attack. Strafny attack from the north here. Getting murdered. Oh, running straight into the mine. Then again, he might be doing here with ulterior motives besides just trying to do some damage. If he suffers enough losses there, he can call in another pair of T-35s. And again, here is where Pony's going to regret then not going after those T-35s, not moving forwards, not doing some damage, because now he can call in more T-35s. And he's not even supporting it properly. What is he doing with it? I have no idea what Pony is thinking. And now we got a large amount of tanks here. We got marked vehicle. There's a Kenmeth, there's some Panther check, but that's not going to cut it. Keep pulling back, Pony. Zurück. Marked vehicle going off. Oh dear, where are the other False Grenadiers? One veteran T2. One T-35 down, he might get another. But the King Tiger's done for. Scheiße. I mean, in this case, that was largely him because he was just passive with it. He should have just properly supported and moved forwards, no matter the cost. And now we're seeing rockets going in the assembled infantry that was near it when the engagement happened, rather than actually supporting, or at least so it felt like. The tanks that were heavily damaged right now. That was really his trump card, which he basically just wasted.
German territory increases.
Of course, his other choice now probably going for a Panther, but even that's going to struggle. But still, he has to go for something. He has to go for it very soon. Also enough, he's also got access to a barrage, so maybe calling in right here on the tank up north. In fact, now while it's repairing, it can't say dodge an artillery barrage. And instead he's getting a Yak Panzer IV. That's not really a particularly grand idea, in particular not against that many T-35s. Now the Volkswagen unit wiped out, he's lost his orbs. Now he's actually using Jaeger infantry, it took him long enough. But the only thing that's really sort of keeping him in the fight now are those veteran 25 Obersoldaten. Oh no! The Strafniki actually got a light machine gun from the Obersoldaten. Oh dear, one tank actually went up in flames. There might be a small sliver out there for the Panzer IV, although very, very slim, as it's not really that effective anyways. Looks like the Strafniki were ended here by the Obersoldaten rushing forward, sprinting like they have never sprinted before. Church collapses finally under the punishment of the Katyushas. Yeah, Panther IV arrived to the battlefield. And soon another pair of T-35s is available here for RedxWings. The Kenmeth might want to turn north here to deal with the tanks. Panther trick down the flank. And the Kenmeth's getting some hits on the T-35s. Stravny here on off. T-35s they're getting shot at. Storm Pioneer getting shot at as well. Overall, things are falling apart here for Pony. Not entirely sure what part of the Panther was supposed to play, but it's not really going to do much versus the amount of tanks that RedxWings can bring to bear versus him. Losing territory. Victory points are surprisingly closer between the two, but that's about it. And in the end, the only thing that's really sort of keeping Pony working in this part is basically that one Veteran 25 Orbital Darden unit with its massive damage potential. Got the Jaegers here with a Panther Trek picked up from some dead body. Interesting enough here, it's actually got veterans on it, but he actually goes for regular barrage. I mean, if he saw where the Orbital unit were, he actually probably could have just gone for a concentrated barrage and probably got the entire unit in one go. I mean, that is the power of the concentrated barrage. It is concentrated. If it hits, it dies. I mean, it's an excellent weapon for clearing out units trying to take points. It's also good for basically, say, dealing with an anti-tank or some other obstinate team support weapon. A support weapon team. Defense farming in Veteran T2. A desperate fight here for victory points. Folks is closing in on death. Trying to get the S-26 there, but not really having any luck moving in. And a unit wiped out, another unit wiped out. The Germans are just suffering massive casualties here. Another Jaeger infantry unit arriving here. A rather late addition to this fight. Felt like they could have done more early on, maybe. More Katyusha barrages. Nothing to cover the centre as the T-35 in here versus it. Might he finally lose the Orbital Darden? Yes! That 25 Orbital Darden completely annihilated. Yak Panther 4 trying to get away. Jaeger infantry planning covering fire. The Kenner trying to do something. And that's a disaster here. And the Yak Panther 4 is pretty much useless here versus the infantry. And there go T-35s. The Kenner cleared. And the Yak Panther 4 really about to get outmaneuvered. Got the S-6 moving up as well. Yak Panther 4 cornered like a rat. Abandoned even. Abandoned. I suppose he could try and use it. But looks like even he doesn't want it. It serves no use. And just sets it on fire. So there we go. It achieves absolutely nothing. Just a waste of resources. And he was like seconds away from having the resources for a Panther. So why didn't go for another one is beyond me. Either way, at this point, it's pretty much just GG here. Pony has lost the battle. They've seen numerous German soldiers march to their deaths. Wasted valuable German equipment as well. And there we go. Game over. A loss for Germany. A victory for the Soviet Union. Heavy casualties there. Close to, well probably at 500 men all in all, or 500 units. Some massive casualties they inflicted. A lot of equipment in the end. Not really achieving that much. The RedxWings probably could have finished this off a bit sooner, but there were some slight issues here. Sometimes he never pushed, and sometimes he just sort of got a bit cautious. But overall, he played well. The mines were definitely a good job, and Pony made a lot of curious mistakes. You know, never trying to clear for mines, despite areas being repeatedly mined. He never bothered with a minesweeper. He had some rather poor armor tactics, which overall resulted in first and loss of the Panther and the King Tiger. I mean, again, you know, when you had the King Tiger, you just never pushed with it. I mean, if you get a King Tiger, you push with it. You get as much support as you can to sort of muster for it without completely leaving everything open, and then you get close and personal with the enemy. But he didn't. He held back. That allowed RedxWings to basically overwhelm it and knock it out. So right, that was another sort of large mistake there by Pony. And of course the final one was the Panther 4. I mean, he was rather close to being able to win this through victory points, but simply put in the end he couldn't keep it up. Also too late in choosing a doctrine. He could definitely use some Jaegers maybe earlier. So, I mean, there were definitely a lot of problems there with Pony's strategy. It was some rather awkward play at times. I mean, he wasn't completely bad. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't at least been able to sort of keep the fight going for that long and get RedxWings down that low. But at the same time, there were definitely some clear problems that they couldn't fix. I mean, RedxWings sort of, he went not quite for the sort of thing we usually form, which is actually Lend-Lease and Germans. He went for T-35s instead. He could have gone maybe with a bit of Guards infantry support here and there, provide a bit further pressure here versus Pony. But overall, I mean, he did pretty well. That SU-6 as usual turned out to be quite lethal. He's a master with that one. CoH2 was also a good decision though. Would have liked to see some contract barrage and good tank usage there from him. So then, interesting fight, bloody, drawn out. Also the best I could find after that hotfix that came out, so my partner's there. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope it gave some ideas for your own matches and what to do, but maybe not to do, like I say, with a King Tiger. If you did, you know, feel free to subscribe. Tell your friends, share with everybody, you know, get more to watch this stuff. Otherwise, you know, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. There's a link in the channel description for updates and who knows what else. And otherwise, you know, thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.